Every single time I step into my laundry room, I have two thoughts. The first one is I can't find whatever I'm looking for, or it's too out of reach for me to be able to grab it with no issues. And two is I don't want to be in that space for any longer than I have to. And today, my goal is to change both of those things. We're giving our laundry room a full makeover, and we are going to make it color blocked, colorful, and hopefully when we step in the laundry room, it'll bring us a little bit more joy than it currently does. So first up is the paint. Second off is going to be building some sort of a cover to make sure that our cat can't get behind the washer and dryer. And third step is going to be organizing the above appliance shelves in order to make it more flowy and aesthetically pleasing, to be honest. Last thing, cherry on top, is I need some way to hang dry our clothes because we dry the majority of our clothes without it being annoying to have to get out my entire rack. So some sort of a permanent solution, hooks, rods, something like that for us to be able to hang is an essential for this makeover. One of the hardest things so far to find secondhand has been paint. The availability of secondhand paint is very, very low. It usually just goes down to blanks or the base colors that you'll find at thrift stores, which we don't really have a way to tint them. Maybe that's something I can do in the future. And resellers, which are people that buy the paint in bulk and then resell it, in which case they're usually selling it for around the same price that you could get it new from Menards. However, we did find exactly the color we are looking for, I hope, secondhand from a reseller. This was $25 for the gallon, and it is this beautiful color called Cavern Clay from Sherwin-Williams. This is the Emerald collection, so this is really expensive paint that we got, $25 for the entire gallon. And the best part is it almost matches our chairs in our dining room perfectly. I think this is going to be a really cool retro pop of color in our closets, and specifically today, our laundry room. Ready?
Mm-hmm. It's a good color.
Yeah. Ew. This thing was not mounted to the ground at all. It was literally mounted by the actual piping. So we're adding screws. So to solve the issue of Mitzi getting behind the washer and dryer and getting stuck, this was the solution that we came up with. Essentially, we used recycled pallet wood, and it was completely free besides just the paint that we used to paint it. So here's me showing my cut list for that. So the plan is to take the pieces with my cut list and assemble them like this. And this corner will need some support, so we have just a couple 2x4s we're going to be putting in for support in this corner, and then from this top side to the risers on the sides, we're then going to be putting a support piece underneath piece B to attach it to the wall, essentially just securing a 2x4 to the wall behind this for it to rest on. Then same with support, or with the wide piece E, we'll put some supports in the corners to make sure it doesn't fall off the wall. All right, so this is our back piece. We did have to put two pieces of wood next to each other to make it the width that we needed. Then we're just gonna put a support bracket in the middle of it. We aren't gonna put any like heavy stuff on this. It's just to block Mitzi from getting behind the washer. This is piece A and B, and we're about to paint them all. What? Did it break the head off of it?
Yeah.
All right, now for assembly. We are back from a marketplace trip to solve number one issue for our laundry room, which is not being able to find anything because it's either loose on a shelf or it's in an unclear box full of other random stuff. We picked up a bunch of milk crates. It was $5 a piece. We bought 5 of them, all different colors, so it'll be really cool looking. But yeah, now we're on our way back. Every single thing from the laundry room is currently out here, and it is an absolute mess. I just spent a total of about 5 minutes cleaning the actual hardware and tops of our washer and dryer. And even though you might not be able to notice a difference, I do. And sometimes taking care of those small things in such a small space is the difference between a makeover and just a paint job. So let this be a reminder to take care of the things that take care of you. Are they perfect? Absolutely not. There's still scratches, and honestly, we probably need to spray paint the tops so that all the rust spots don't show, but they're good enough for me. I think it needs to come over more. All right, the power is out at work, so that means I'm working on a weekday. Right now I am putting up our hanging shelves, so you can kind of see it in the background. What I did is I went to Menards and I got this double rod hanger, so we can have a big and a small hanger for our clothes rack, and it just attaches to the wall. It had all the hardware with it. And then I bought 2 dowels. This one is a 3/4 inch dowel, and then this one's a little smaller. I don't know if it's a probably 1/2 inch dowel. I really like this one because it has some cool dark wood tones. These are going to be unstained because I don't want any stain to be leaching into our wet clothes. But yeah, this one's going to go in the front and this one's going to go right in the back. So I'm just installing that last one now. In hindsight, I think I would have gotten a bigger size for this bigger rod, because if you see the smaller rod is really locked into place, but this one still wiggles. It's because it actually doesn't screw down any tighter than that, whereas this one is screwing into the actual wood. So even though this says it fits up to 1 inch, it means that you need 1 inch, not that you can go underneath 1 inch. Just a tip from my mistake. Also, in case you are wondering, it did not make any weird sounds as we were running the washer or the dryer. I just did a load this morning and it worked perfectly. We did put a bumper underneath that before, and we also screwed it in through the top. You can kind of see the screw right there. But yeah, no weird sounds, no funky movements. We were all fine. I think the colors in the laundry room are the perfect area for this piece of cardboard. So this piece of cardboard is from Ben's, I believe, great aunt. It was a shoebox, but it was just so cool looking that we couldn't throw it away or recycle the box. So we cut it up into little sections. And because it's a piece of cardboard, I've never really known what to do with it, but I feel like the colors go really well with the laundry room and really well with this wooden frame. You can kind of see the vision. So I'm going to cut this out. I also did have a larger, I believe it was an 8x10 frame, but I think that the smaller wooden frame is the better look for this, but you can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I am so happy with how this turned out. It's so much more functional and it's more beautiful to be in. I want to leave the door open more often than I did before, which is okay now because of that divider preventing Mitzi from getting behind the washer and dryer. Overall, I'm very happy with it, but I do want to share some renovation realities. For the cost of this project, it did cost $6 each, or $12 totals for those wooden dowels, $5 each or $10 total for the hooks to mount them on the wall. It cost $25 for that used paint on Facebook Marketplace and $25 for those milk crates. So total, we're looking at $72 for this renovation, which I'm pretty happy with. I could have done it for cheaper if I used storage that I already had. And of course, me filming the video was free. Now we have a video to look back on where we started and where we're at now, which has been the most fun thing about buying our first home, is watching this space behind me become what it is. So if you have not seen our first video where we went over what we did in the first month after moving in, go watch that here. And yeah, hope you enjoyed.